quarterbacks and young quarterbacks have been a big point of conversation through the offseason and through the first 3 weeks of the season. Fans would like to see more of their rookie quarterbacks. But Alex Smith, someone who was mentioned in conjunction with a successful rookie quarterback waiting, talked about why he's not so sure they should rush their young quarterbacks out there.
And I really felt like it set me back. I mean, my first start was a disaster. I feel like I had no business being out there. I mean, I threw 4 interceptions my first start, and it didn't get much better after that.
See, that's my guy.
Look, I mean, how everyone loves Alex Smith. He's the best. But again, I don't know how much you learn from, we used to say holding the clipboard, it's holding a tablet now. Observation. There's there's only so much you can absorb from observation.
Okay, so let's take the telescope and turn it around.
Okay.
So there's only so much you can learn from observation. True. But instead of humiliation, instead of observation, how much do you hurt a quarterback when he literally is devoured for 6 straight weeks? So I agree, observation. In moments in life, you could watch somebody do an exercise and go, I'm not losing calories.
Internships, mentorships, those things have extreme value.
But I think if, like in Chicago, I do not trust that offensive line. I think it's awful.
No, there's no reason to. He got sacked 9 times.
Yeah, so to me, you have to weigh, okay, he's not learning a lot, but I'm not going to humiliate him. Like, that's why I think sometimes with young quarterbacks, I look and I think, okay, we've got a bye, and the Lions coming to town. And I'm like, I almost feel like with my kids, they're going to fail in life, but I always tell them, I'm trying to set you up for some success. I'm not saying you're going to, but I don't want to put you in a prep school if you're totally over your skis. If I took my daughter and said, I'm going to put you to a tech school, she's like, Dad, I don't like tech. Then I'm setting her up to fail.
But if she wanted to be in tech, she'd have to go to the tech school. So, they are quarterbacks. They have to play the position at some point.
But I argue, not if you have Nick Foles. You're not a playoff team anyway. You're a kind of a mess.
I don't know. I guess I'm firmly on the other side of this. That because you aren't a playoff team, because I don't think this is the situation in San Francisco. They have a rookie quarterback who we know is the future. But to me, what's the point? Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy. We know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
And you can actually win with that roster. Now, if it was Chicago, where we know they're not going to win with that roster, I don't think it's the same situation. So I don't think it's a blanket statement. I think each individual situation has some nuance to it.
Yeah.
And look, the rookie quarterbacks are struggling. If you look at the numbers from Sunday, Justin Fields, 6 of 20, no touchdowns, 0 interceptions, sacked 9 times. Mac Jones, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, sacked twice. Zach Wilson, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, sacked 5 times. And then Trevor Lawrence was sacked 3 times with 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Yes, it's brutal. But also, I believe that, just all of us collectively in the sports world need to be patient with these young guys.
That's like asking kids not to take the cookie if you put it in front of them. We can't do that.
It's just nonsense, though.
Well, of course, but it doesn't. Asking people we can't even ask people to get a vaccine. I mean, seriously.
Right. I might be being too reasonable right now. I mean, that's just how I look at it. I have no expectations for the Jags this year. The only thing I want to see in year one is some growth.
Yeah.
That's it. Anything other than that, I think is an extreme overreaction. They wouldn't be in the situation to have a first-round rookie quarterback that high if they were a good team.
Yeah.
Unless you are the Kansas City Chiefs who's trading up for Patrick Mahomes and then didn't play him anyway, or you're Baltimore, Lamar Jackson. If you are taking a quarterback that high in the draft, you're not a good team. So you probably don't have an offensive line. So you are going to struggle. I just think it's just a sprinkle of patience, guys. I know I'm asking for a reason, which is outrageous. But so Bill Belichick knows what is at the forefront of everyone's mind this weekend. We are starting to sprinkle in the stories leading up to Tom Brady getting back to New England. But you're going to hear about this all week. And by Friday, it's going to be all anyone can talk about. But he was asked yesterday if his feelings towards Tom ever changed, and he said that he would have loved for Tom to stay.
Well, I think we've been through all the dynamics of that. He looked at his options and made his decision. We weren't as good an option as Tampa. It wasn't a question of not wanting them, that's for sure.
Well, they weren't. Tampa had better skill people, and Belichick and his staff had whiffed on multiple tight ends and receivers. So, I mean, that's honesty. Tampa was a better option based on the personnel for an aging quarterback. And as we've said, when you age, you need more help. Tom would not be this good with the Jaguars. But Bill kind of slyly put it on Tom that he left. I think that overall most
most Patriots fans outside of this weekend, or at least last year, were happy for Tom. Like, I don't think there was a lot of animosity about it. But over the next couple years, if the Patriots are not good consistently, all that love might start to fade. Like right now, I still think, they have a overall respect for him, which you should. But that was Bill putting it on Tom. Like, Tom left us. We wanted Tom back.
I think, what I think Bill misses? Bill misses those high-level conversations you can have with an 18-year veteran quarterback. Because now you're back to being a school teacher. And Belichick intellectually is more like a professor than a school teacher. So he goes from these incredibly deep conversations with Brady, Josh McDaniels that were so high level, most teams could only aspire to those conversations on a weekly basis. And now you're back to being a school teacher, just teaching basic geography to a quarterback. And I think that's the part deep down Bill would never maybe admit it, but that's fun to be sparring with somebody and learning with somebody that can play at your level. Now it's teaching. He wasn't teaching Brady football. They were wrestling over which brilliant plan to use or moment.
Well, he has to start all over again, which I find to be fascinating. Brady and the Bucs are currently favored by the Patriots, over the Patriots, 6.5, according to Fox Bet.
I would take New England. All right. Yeah.
You would take New England?
Oh, excuse me. I can't get the Brady's not a Patriot. I would take Tampa by 2 touchdowns.
Seeing Tom Brady on the sideline of that game.
Rookie quarterbacks.
But does any of the emotion come into play for you?
Yeah, it makes Mac Jones nervous, not Brady. Matt Stafford was nervous facing Brady in a big TV game. Mac Jones isn't going to be nervous? Tom not going to be nervous.
But I'm saying the emotion from Tom's side.
Tom's emotion is, I'm going to crush you, LFG. That's Tom's emotion.
I guess. I think there might be something to it, him coming back to the building for the first time. But I would tend to agree with you. I think that they're going to cover that. So the Eagles fell to the Cowboys 41-21 last night, and Jalen Hurts is ready to shoulder the blame for his team's disappointing performance.
I didn't do a good enough job of leading. I didn't do a good enough job of running our offense, of doing the things that I need to do. So it's on me. This one's on me. You take you a deuce. You don't sit there and look at it. You flush it and move on. We're going to flush it and move on.
Oh, good. That was wonderful.
Very descriptive.
Thank you.
Well, he was 25 of 39 for 326 passing yards with 2 touchdowns. Both of those were kind of garbage time touchdowns.
Yeah.
In his first 2 picks of the season, he also had 9 carries of the Eagles' 12 rushing plays, running for 35 yards. I don't know that I'm putting that entire loss on Jalen Hurts, though.
I don't know. I didn't like what I saw, but I don't know if they have the coach right either. I'll just say that.
Yeah, well, look, it's 3 weeks in, and maybe we were a little overreaction, a little bit of an overreaction to how they've played so far. And I also think that, and this is not an overreaction by me because I felt like the Cowboys were going to win this division to begin with.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are a good team.
Yeah, I was shocked it was a blowout. I was shocked it was not competitive. I will admit that.
I was a little surprised it wasn't competitive as well, but maybe we aren't giving the Cowboys defense enough credit.
That's fair. No, they've got 8 takeaways. And listen, we said this after the first week. The eye test. They are a much rangier, faster defense. Yeah. That is not up for. They're younger, they're rangier, and they're not even healthy. They're missing guys up front. But
their playmakers made plays.
Yes, and they've got that Diggs. That corner's tremendous. Looks like a Pro Bowl corner. So let's give them credit.
They're better than last year. Yeah. You have to forget what they were last year, which was obviously abysmal. They are better, and you're supposed to take advantage of inferior teams when you have an improved side of the ball, which they do.
All right, good stuff, Joy, with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.